In late August 1939, Hitler and Soviet leader Joseph Stalin signed the German-Soviet Non-Aggression Pact, which incited a frenzy of worry in London and Paris. Hitler had long planned an invasion of Poland, a nation to which Great Britain and France had guaranteed military support if it was attacked by Germany. The pact with Stalin meant that Hitler would not face a war on two fronts once he invaded Poland, and would have Soviet assistance in conquering and dividing the nation itself. On September 1, 1939, Hitler invaded Poland from the west. 2 days later, France and Britain declared war on Germany, beginning World War II. Although the Soviets signed the Non-Aggression Pact with Germany, they ended up on the side of the Allies with France, Britain, and later the United States, while the Axis powers consisted of Germany, Japan, and Italy. Although America stayed neutral from the beginning of the war, they gave their support to the Allied powers. This is where the Lend-Lease Act comes in. It allowed the U.S. to lend Britain needed supplies without getting involved in the war. Once the war was over, Britain would pay or give them back what they owe America, effectively finding a loophole within neutrality. It wasn't until December 7, 1949, when Roosevelt and America decided it was time for war. Japan, a small island with no natural resources of its own, invaded a region of China so they could supply themselves with some. America then responded with numerous economic sanctions and trade embargoes, ultimately stopping Japan's access to money, goods, and oil. The events led to Japan's attack on Pearl Harbor. With the U.S. not expecting Japan to attack Hawaii, the state was left relatively undefended. On a date which will forever live in infamy, Japan attacked Pearl Harbor just before 8 o'clock a.m. on December 7, 1941. Bombing the USS Arizona first, the ship exploded immediately, sinking with over 1,000 men trapped inside. By the time the attack ended, 18 ships and 300 airplanes were destroyed, along with 2,500 casualties and 1,000 wounded. In this attack, Japan made 3 very crucial mistakes that affected them in the war. The first was not bombing our oil reserves, which meant we didn't have to stock up on oil again. Second was them missing our repair facilities. These 2 mistakes only put us 6 months behind them instead of the 18 they imagined they would get. Lastly, they destroyed only our battleships and none of our aircraft carriers, which were out at sea at the time. Japan had not anticipated aircraft carriers replacing the battleships of the main Navy vessel in the war, eventually costing them. These 3 mistakes are some of the biggest Japan will make. Because of them not destroying our oil reserves, repair facilities, and aircraft carriers, America was able to bounce back quickly from the attack. The day following the attack on Pearl Harbor, Congress approved Roosevelt's declaration of war on Japan. 3 days later, Japanese allies Germany and Italy declared war on the U.S., and for the second time, Congress reciprocated, marking the beginning of America's Second World War. The attack on Pearl Harbor will always be remembered in the heart of every American, reminding us why and what we fight for. Americans fought for democracy and freedom, eventually winning the war with the Allied forces, Britain and France.